There is the Brazilian lineup at the start of this World Cup final. So much humming and erring over the possible participation or otherwise of Ronaldo. First on the team sheet, then not, and then restored. And he does start, although outlandish stories continue to circulate over his state of health and fitness.
Things got weird.
One of football's biggest mysteries has to do with the 1998 World Cup Final.
Sorry, I don't know if I misunderstood that. Did he have a heart attack?
Brazil's capitulation at the 1998 World Cup was so shocking the country's government opened an official investigation because of it. In this video, we will go over the 3 conspiracy theories on what happened to Brazil and Ronaldo on the day of the final. Also make sure you stay until the end where Ronaldo himself tells you exactly what happened that day. Remember to like and subscribe. We are getting closer to 50 subscribers. Now let's get on with the video. Those who were plagued by those strange events will never forget the dateline. Paris, July 12, 1998. A game 4 years in the making, the FIFA World Cup Final. Historians will record the game as a 3-0 win for Zinedine Zidane and France. A result that sparked emotional scenes of celebration on the Champs-Élysées for the tournament's host nation. Just 5 days before that fateful night in Saint-Denis, Selecao, the reigning world champions Brazil had eliminated the Netherlands on penalties in what was, to that point, their most difficult encounter of an otherwise irresistible tournament. Ronaldo, already a 2-time FIFA World Player of the Year at just 21 years of age, had opened the scoring just after the restart and also converted Brazil's first penalty. And despite progressing into a final against host nation France, it seemed there would be no stopping the South American juggernaut lifting the trophy a record-extending 5th time. But then it all fell to pieces, the narrative blown to bits just hours before what should have been one of the most compelling matches in football history. Here's what we think we know. On July 12th, the day of the 1998 World Cup Final, the Brazilian squad had lunch in Lesigny, just outside Paris. Shortly after arriving back at the team hotel, Ronaldo, who was sharing a room with Roberto Carlos, broke down and cried. Ronaldo was scared about what lay ahead. Roberto Carlos later told the BBC. The pressure had got to him and he couldn't stop crying. Then, at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the Inter Milan striker began to convulse uncontrollably, eventually foaming at the mouth. As journalist Alex Bellos described the incident, Roberto Carlos shouted for help, with teammates Cesar Sampaio and Edmundo arriving quickly at the scene, the latter preventing Ronaldo from swallowing his tongue. Then Ronaldo went to sleep, and the team doctors agreed to avoid telling him what had happened. One of those doctors, Joaquim da Mata, later admitted that he had never seen a player experiencing convulsions. He also revealed that Ronaldo had been taking the painkiller Valarin since re-aggravating a knee injury against Morocco on June 16th. When Ronaldo woke up, he had a cup of tea, and thanks to the intervention of teammate Leonardo, he was told of his fit by Brazil's medical staff. It was while he was at the Lilas clinic that his name was omitted from the team sheet by manager Mario Zagallo. Edmundo, the Fiorentina marksman who had reached into Ronaldo's mouth and held his tongue, was in the starting instead. Ronaldo was one of the biggest stars in the world game, the man Brazilian fans expected to lead them to a 5th world title. The notion that he wouldn't be playing was simply unthinkable. For context, try to imagine Argentina playing in the World Cup final and Lionel Messi being dropped from the team without any prior indication of a problem or an injury. The team sheets were handed around by the stewards as usual. Lo and behold, Ronaldo's name was not there, and everybody looking at their handout had the same reaction, Matson told CNN Sport. There were people standing up and waving and asking what was going on. We sat there in an absolute ferment for quite a long time. My reporting colleague, Ray Stubbs, saw Pelé sitting in the commentary box, Matson recalls. He ran down and asked him what it was all about. Pelé just spread his hands and said he knew nothing. Then things got complicated. According to the Independent, Brazilian Football Confederation President Ricardo Teixeira, who helped get the £80 million sponsorship negotiation with Nike, walked into the team's dressing room about an hour before kickoff. 20 minutes later, Ronaldo arrived, and Zagallo stroked Edmundo's name from the lineup, and Ronaldo was starting again. The official line from the CBF and the few players who have ever discussed what happened in the hours leading up to the 1998 World Cup Final is that Ronaldo, feeling considerable pressure, got sick, and just 40 minutes prior to kickoff, pronounced himself fit to play. But there have been unanswered questions, loose strings, difficult explanations, and a public that, for perfectly good reasons, simply can't digest what it's been fed have combined to make room for conspiracy theories. Following are three of them. Theory 1. Ronaldo was hiding a secret medical condition. This is less a conspiracy theory than an attempt to pin the blame for Brazil's failure against France on a single individual and the doctors that treated him. As far as we know, the July 12th seizure was the only one ever suffered by Ronaldo. And given a grooming process that took him to the 1994 World Cup as a 17-year-old, never mind the 4 years of top-flight European football he played in the run-up to the 1998 competition, the idea that he suddenly broke down under pressure is curious to say the least. Various reports, including this one by ESPN, have hotel director Paul Chevalier hearing shouts of, "He's dead, he's dead." So it's verifiable that a medical emergency did in fact transpire that afternoon. But what if Ronaldo had covered up a pre-existing condition? And what if the team doctors, unaware of his situation, only made things worse by prescribing painkillers? Theory 2. Brazil's players accepted bribes to throw the match. This theory is the least likely to be true, but we will tell it anyway. It has the Brazil squad being offered $15 million, according to The Guardian, as well as the right to host a future World Cup in exchange for throwing the match against France. Part of the agreement is also said to have included the guarantee of a favorable draw in 2002. Ronaldo, uncomfortable with the arrangement, pulled out of the squad but changed his mind after Nike told him he was risking his sponsorship money. 4 years later, Brazil eased through a group that included China, Costa Rica, and Turkey. And 5 years after that, they were awarded the 2014 World Cup. Theory 3. Nike forced Ronaldo to play. If any of the 1998 conspiracy theories passes muster, it's this one. On July 13th, the day after the World Cup Final, Nike released the following statement. With regard to rumors circulating about presumed pressures Nike put on the Brazilian national soccer team so that Ronaldo would play, Nike wants to emphasize that the report of such involvement is absolutely false. It continued. Ronaldo and Zagallo decided together to crown this dream which the Brazilian player probably deserved to live. In all of this, Nike did not interfere in any way. And besides, why should it have? Odd language, and the inclusion of a rhetorical question odder still. But the clothier had 80 million reasons to demand Ronaldo, who it sponsored, be included in Zagallo's lineup. The company had invested significant resources in its agreement with Teixeira and the CBF, and as per the Independent, it was already common practice for them to request the full turnout of Brazil's best squad at international friendlies. Financially, Nike had a lot riding on the 1998 World Cup, and the majority of their pre-tournament marketing was based around Brazil, and Ronaldo in particular. What if Nike, via Teixeira, had demanded Ronaldo's name on the team sheet? In my time, it was the Army generals running Brazil who tried to pick the team, remarked 1970 World Cup winner Tostão in conversation with the Independent's David Smith in August 1998. Today it's the sponsors, the businessmen, the media moguls. The World Cup Final is the world's biggest TV show. Whatever happened ahead of the match, what followed was a sort of awakening to the intersect of football, money, and power. It was the night football lost its innocence. Since then, however, Ronaldo has given an interview telling his side of the story. Here is what he said.
The final is one of the most incredible days in World Cup history. What happened?
Ronaldo replied, "We had lunch, it was all chilled out, then we went back to our rooms. I always roomed with Roberto Carlos. I brushed my teeth and decided to take a nap, so I lay down and thought I had fallen asleep. 10 minutes later, I woke up and the doctor was there. He told me that I had suffered a seizure and could not play in the final. I was like, are you crazy? How can I not play in the final if I am here and well? I said, let's do any tests and I will prove I am okay. The tests were done and Ronaldo was back in the starting lineup. Now the question is, what do you truly believe happened that day? Please leave a comment, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, peace.